2, 3. Ready on me. Ready up.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Unsolicited Lifting Advice. My name is Sam.
My name is Modest.
Thank you for joining us this week. We appreciate, again, your support as always. Happy to keep doing this. Had a good shoulder session.
Oh, yeah.
Hence the tanks.
The tanks.
For the video podcast listeners, we could not let this pump go to waste.
It'd be criminal.
It would be. It would be worthy of the death penalty. So, you're welcome.
It is your pleasure to admire this fine physique.
It was like a 2-hour. That's like the benefit of not having
anything else
to do during the day was that you can spend 2 hours on shoulders.
And some abs.
Did some abs. Did that. What was the name of that?
Pile-off presses.
Yeah, so that was new to me, and that is going to become a staple in my routine now, as that was challenging in one of the most bizarre ways I've had in a long time for an ab workout.
So pile-off presses. First off, I highly recommend them to everyone listening. I've been incorporating them into my routine for about 2 weeks now. So I got this from Dr. Steffi Cohen. Wow, I put some emphasis on her name.
It's respect. Put on her name.
Absolutely.
You put respect on her name.
And not nearly enough of it. There's that. To be fair, it's because you can't put enough on. One of the greatest athletes to ever athlete. Before I get into that rant again, so she was talking about ab training, and she's like, yeah, like a lot of people when they're training their obliques will do like oblique side raises, which is what I've always done. And she's like, okay, like that's fine, but think about what the point of that is, especially in terms of strength, where you're trying to brace your core and you're keeping that stable. You're not trying to train it to do the movement. You're trying to resist that movement. And so she's like, something like this, you're actively resisting that the entire time. And I was like, I guess I'll try it once.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was that humbling?
Yeah.
Just the lowness of the weights and how quickly that starts challenging you. It's okay. Yeah, we're going to keep doing this.
So for those who haven't done the exercise, is you get in a kneeling position, basically 1 foot on the ground, one knee on the ground. So let's say your left foot is on the ground, your left knee is on the ground, like you're trying to stretch your abductor, like your hip adductors or something. And with a cable, you hold the cable out, hands tight right in front of you at chest level, at a position where when your arms are straight out in front of you, you have tension on the cable, and then you just bring your hands into your chest and back out again, kind of like you're playing patty cake, but with your hands together. And
video listeners will have the benefit of seeing us do this.
But it is, again, a humbling exercise for your core as you realize how rarely you do that kind of training. Like I said, most people are doing crunches or the side crunches, things like that to train your abs, which again works. But yeah, when it comes to training it the way you want the muscle to work, i.e. resisting turning and rotation, that's one of those humblers.
Yeah.
Big humble.
Love it. Love her. There's a reason
I think we were only doing like 20 pounds. It was not a lot of weight.
And that was me moving up in weight.
Yeah.
The first time I did, I'm doing it with 15s. I'm like, my hip flexors, ow. Yeah, just highly recommend them. Get them in your training. It will challenge you in a very different way.
Yeah. You have a confession.
Yes, I do. And you actually don't even know what it is yet.
No, I don't. I'm excited.
All right, so last week, we came up here and made a big deal about how I get up at 5:15 a.m. to go to the gym so that the gym's empty. Now, still living in a college town, our version of resolutioners doesn't start until February because that's when everyone comes back from vacation. And so you've got a round of resolutioners in January, and then you've got a round of resolutioners from all the college students that come back and are, hey, like, my new year starts when I get back to school. That crowd has just started dying away now. And I realized that on Tuesday after record, so a day before the episode came out, and I figured out I can come in an extra hour later, and it's it's actually less crowded because everyone that gets to the gym at 6 a.m. because they need to do that to get to work on time is already like working their way out.
Yeah.
And no one else has come in yet, so you come in and it's just serenely empty, and it's incredible. And so now I get up at 6:15 instead of 5:15. But as we all know, that means that since it's past 6 a.m., I'm no longer hardcore.
Exactly. Yep.
I have to turn that card in.
You have to give me your hardcore card before we leave for the day,
And
I will shred it and burn the shreds as the rules state.
And that's where I just gotta come up and be like, listen, in the interest of honesty, I am no longer worthy. Mjolnir, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I'll be back one day.
That's some
next
point.
February.
That's fun. That's hilarious. We are obviously joking for those only listening. I think they're like, we've talked about this before, what you put your pride in, what you put your identity in as far as the gym, whether it's I'm the person who's at the gym super early every day, or I'm the person who's there longer than everybody else. Both of those things aren't bad in and of themselves, obviously. Like, I've worked out early kind of for work, like because of work reasons. Like it just works so I can make it to my job on time. But like today, I mean, we started lifting in at what, like 12:30,
12:31,
something like that.
Something like that. What time is it now?
In the
like 12:31.
Yeah, like in the afternoon. So we're not making our ancestors shameful by going what's convenient for us.
No dishonor on this, Cal.
Exactly. So yeah, so like if you have to adjust your workout time, that's fine. He's joking about the hardcore thing. Hardcore is just, it's a mindset, and that mindset is consistency. So
yes. Oh my. Yes.
All right. So this week we've got a fun one. For the first time, I think ever, we planned out our topic more than an hour in advance. Yeah, so you hit me up and you're like, hey, let's have a meeting on Thursday and make that a routine. I'm like, I'm here for it. Let's treat this like professionals.
Now the point was to spare you a phone call every time I have a new idea. So instead of getting a call 4 times a day,
we just have a 2-hour conversation on Thursdays.
Yes, exactly.
So we figured today we would go into, because we already told you about the different kind of styles of lifting in our Olympic Power Strong Fit Body video episode. So today we're going to talk about the kinds of gyms and the different places that you will lift. The episode title will be, "Oh, the Places You'll Grow." Shout out Dr. Seuss. So we're going to start where I think most people start. My guess would be most people start here. The high school weight room, which, depending on your high school, can range from top level facility to this is a concrete dungeon that someone dropped a weight in once and they said, hey, this is a good enough place to call a gym, let's do it. I have worked out in multiple high school gyms of varying levels of equipment, from when I was playing football my senior year, the gym at the school, it was the basement of our athletic center, and it was just concrete everywhere. It was basically an unfinished basement.
Yeah.
With
that's how put some machines.
Exactly that they had gotten some donated machines, which again, no judgment. Like, you do what you can do, and if athletics isn't the biggest thing on your plate, you're gonna have just kind of what you have
less place to show for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember when I was leaving my senior year, they were starting to upgrade, and I remember taking out all of those old rusty plates and looking at the cool new ones. Like, man, you guys are gonna have fun. Have fun. I'm gonna be gone. So that's kind of step one. And you played soccer in high school, right? Did you guys
not for my high school?
Oh, really?
So, well, I did trivia in high school.
Nice.
And so I was on the high school trivia team for 4 years. On TV for 3 of them. Captain my senior year. But that takes up my time. That takes my weekends. So I played soccer when I had time. I just joined weekend leagues.
Yeah.
And then that way it's not a big enough thing where, okay, this week I've got a meet for the thing that's gonna get me into college.
Yeah.
If I don't show up, like, what are you gonna do? Kick me off the team?
Yeah.
It's, but like I did things like track and whatnot, and so I did spend time in the gym from that. And track was just, well, like, I mean, I'm just here, and I talked with the coaches beforehand. Or, so listen, I'm just here. It's like, I want to work out better.
Yeah.
You know more than I do. You've got this space for me, and they're like, yeah, like, if you want to come train with us, that's fine. Fully knowing that, okay, like, I'm not going in and running meets. And honestly, high school, I switched from doing middle school. I was an all-county sprinter. Then everyone else got taller, and I didn't.
That whole puberty thing decided to work out for some people.
And on top of that, I switched to distance in high school. So the whole, like, I can't run meets thing didn't matter. I wasn't going to run a meet anyway.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'll say where I wasn't good enough. But yeah, I never played soccer for the school.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know. Learning things.
But I mean, I worked out in the weight room all the time.
Yeah.
And I liked it. All things considered, Howard County, Maryland, you can't really complain about the sort of facility you've got.
Yeah. I was in Montgomery County, so yeah, it's pretty kind of the same.
I don't think ours was like a bolus facility.
Yeah.
But even still, like, as far as American high school gyms go, it's definitely on the upper end.
Yeah.
We had all the essentials. We had strength coaches who would be there after hours, so you could go in. That program there, at least until my senior year, was very big on Olympic lifting.
Okay.
And so my first times learning to move stuff was, all right, we're going to do, like, hang cleans and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Very lightweight, let's just get form down, which I guess then would make that my first time touching a barbell and not the, almost dying trying to bench 95
That's
story
a better
that
story,
I told.
though. We'll stick with that story.
That's the story I'm going to keep telling.
That's the story we're going to stick with.
But yeah.
Cool. So you had, like, strength coaches.
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, my starting out at a public school in Montgomery County, we had the football coaches, who all had collegiate experience playing, and were again, no one died in the weight room, and then same thing moving.
That's always a good standard.
So yeah, it's 0 deaths, and then moving again, finished out at a private school with again same. We had football coaches. Shout out Coach Soleno. And then since they got a physical trainer, like an actual trainer for the weight room. But yeah, so I feel like most people probably start in a high school weight room. Again, varying levels of coaching, varying levels of equipment. Again, at that, like, we're now getting to the point where people recognize that kids lifting is fine, because for a long time,
and is good.
Yeah, the thought was like, oh, you're gonna
it's gonna stunt your height.
Yeah, it was the growth. You're gonna, like, smash your growth plates or something, and the real's like, no. Like, football's gonna do that more than the lifting the weights will. So it's I think a lot more schools, counties, systems, whatever, recognize the benefit of having a good trainer, or at least a place where kids can safely do that. So that's where most people start,
as well as someone to, like, teach them how to do it without ripping themselves in half.
Yeah.
Somewhat literally.
Yeah, thankfully no injuries when we were working out. So most people after that, if you don't lift in high school, it's totally fine. Again, if you're either not doing one of the sports.
It's not when I got into lifting.
Yeah, and again, I feel like it used to just be like football and like wrestling, maybe, who would lift. But now again, we're realizing, hey, no, everyone, every single sport should be lifting.
Strength and conditioning was a after school club for us.
Nice.
We had people who, like, just did that. They did not play any other sport.
That's awesome.
And then obviously the teams would go in, especially lacrosse. Starting my junior year, Coach Creighton came in. He was captain of, captain of Salisbury. I think a national champion. Definitely played at that sort of level.
Yeah.
Was an All-American multiple years. So when he came and completely changed that program around, including, okay, guys, we're gonna, lifting standards were part of tryouts.
Nice.
And the first year we went from 8-8 team to state championships.
Yeah.
So the guy knew something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So
And then, yeah, I think where you're about to get to, if you don't get into it in high school, you probably get into it in college.
Yeah. So collegiate gyms. And obviously we have our fun like kind of origin story of two-a-days at Epley. But yeah, so collegiate facilities are a great way to, if you didn't lift in high school, you now have access to normally a very large facility, even if you're at a
Normally
smaller
very
school.
high quality.
Yeah, even I remember we visited Randolph-Macon my junior year of high school, which is a smaller school in Northern Virginia. They had an excellent facility.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a school, I think less than like 5,000 people attended. And they had a phenomenal facility. So this is a great place where if you are new to lifting, they will have classes. They will have, obviously, the staff, the gym staff themselves. You might be able to, no, you not might, you will most likely be able to take courses for credit, either in the kines department, or whatever you're, again, at Maryland, it was School of Public Health. You'll have some kind of place you can go to learn
how to do these things.
Yeah, the basics, the fundamentals very well.
You'll also have clubs in case it doesn't fit into your academic schedule.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of different resources available to you to be able to start getting into this.
Yeah.
And start doing it in a non-injurious fashion.
Yes, that's a big plus. And then outside of just straight lifting, obviously you have intramural sports, you have club sports, you have like college is a great place to get into fitness if it's something you haven't been doing either in high school or before or whatever time you're going to college. Again, it's just like one of those spots where you kind of don't have an excuse not to.
Yeah.
Again, where we went UMD, there were multiple gyms. You had like Epley, Ritchie, Public Health had gym. Like,
Yeah.
I think even some of the new buildings might, like the dorms might have gyms. I don't even know.
Jesus Christ.
But so that yeah,
Must
it's
be nice.
it's a right. It's a great place to get into it if you have not tried out fitness yet. Go to your campus rec facility, ask them about the classes, and then you also have like obviously basketball courts, racquetball, the pool. Like swimming.
Yeah,
I
Maryland had a climbing gym. I worked there for
Yeah,
3.5
exactly.
years.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
You had a climbing wall. Like that's just it's an excellent place. The step after this.
Now we get into the fun stuff.
Yeah, and this is I think what makes up the bulk of most people's fitness. Again, once you leave college, is what we're gonna call corporate gyms. So these are the chains of gyms. You'll see commercials for them on TV, or maybe you won't if they're fancy. But the kind of place where you'll pay anywhere from $10 on the low range to
200,
couple hundred a month if you got the bread like that.
Yes.
So these are your Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, Gold's Gym, Equinox, Lifetime, Bally's RIP. Though like 24-hour fitness, these kind of spots.
Yes.
And this is a point where you have, again, this is like not professional, but like
Okay, I was about to say it's a step up, and depending on the college you went to and the corporate gym of choice, that may not be true. However, it is a potential step up, and it is definitely a way to stay involved with fitness outside of the college gym.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'm right back in my college town. Thank you, grad school. If I wanted to keep going to our collegiate gym, I could. And honestly, if it wasn't for current COVID situation, I probably would be. I love that gym. However, I don't want to make hour reservations every time I want to work out. Mostly because I can't be in and out of the gym in an hour.
Yes.
Not happening, folks. And so, one of these guys comes in. Actually, I think most listeners know we both go to Gold's.
Yeah.
But, that said, so Sam, this was your idea. I think we've got a fun analogy to start explaining some of these corporate gyms to you and where they fit in with each other.
Yeah, so and this isn't, we're going to make fun of some of them, obviously. But again, as we said multiple times, whatever gets you in the gym, wherever you go, if you're being consistent and you're working towards your blah, 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 good. Okay, that being said.
Yes.
Let's talk about how do we phrase, I'm going to look at your thing. Oh yeah, how do we phrase so let's start Planet Fitness, because they're again, like of the corporate gyms, they're the ones that kind of get made fun of the most. I mean, any gym that gives out pizza is kind of begging for a little bit of kind-hearted ribbing, let's call it.
Any gym that doesn't have a squat rack.
Yeah.
gonna make you use Smith machines for it, even though like it arguably is gonna be worse for you.
Yeah. It's so like if you can only afford if you are just budgeting and you got to get in the gym and you only have $10 a month, Planet Fitness is your go-to. Again, it's on the cheaper side for the monthly membership. If you are looking just to get into fitness, like I just need to be more active and I don't have the ability to walk in my neighborhood or I don't have access to any kind of cardio equipment, this is a great spot to start. Again, I know my dad at one point had a membership there just because it wasn't as crowded sometimes. So he would go there and again just do his cardio. It's a great spot for that. And again, if you just kind of want to dip your toe in, you don't want to make a big monetary commitment, and you just want to like, hey, I've never touched a dumbbell before. Hey,
Planet Fitness.
No shame in your game. That being said, if you do want to get into lifting more weight, or again have access
lifting
to
at a higher level,
have access to a squat rack.
If you're interested in doing, I'm trying to think if I want to stick by the statement. Actually, yeah, I'll stick with it. If you're interested in doing anything we covered in episode 7, if you're interested in Olympic power fit body and doing that at a high level, at some point you'll probably have to graduate from Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
The body being the sole possible exception, but like, good luck.
Yeah. So then you have your LA Fitness Golds. These are kind of like on the same-ish level as far as like you'll have access to all the equipment you need. Some of them might have like again, I know the LA Fitness where my dad used to go had a basketball court in it. Some of them might have pools. I learned today that there's a level 2 fitness membership for Golds.
Yeah,
which is very interesting.
Odd.
I don't know what that's about,
wasn't
but you know,
when I signed up.
No, it wasn't. But you know, hey, there's level 2 now, so I guess that's where they give you access to the Shield Essential database, and you can learn about Nick Fury's real eyeball. But this is a
spoilers.
a movie that came out 3 years ago. Yeah, but so this is the kind of spot where you'll have a wide range of people in there. You'll see, like again, people just starting in fitness, all the way up to like some.
Especially
argue,
Golds.
Yeah, you'll see some pros working out in a Golds. So if you're the kind of person who likes being around other people who are really trying to push, Golds is a great spot. Again, as we talked about before, people are very friendly. Again, we talked today. We were lifting, and a buddy of yours was there. You know, just we were working out the racks next to each other. Yeah. Nice little light conversation, having some fun.
Yeah.
A good spot to progress your goals. And if you are looking for those communities, these are a great spot to kind of start.
Oh, absolutely. Every single person I know inside the Golds, with the exception of some people that know me from the bouncing days and followed me over there, is someone that like I've never met them before, and then it's just, hey, like either they'll come up at some lift and be like, hey man, like that was or vice versa. Earlier this week I made a new friend because 4-plate squat, ass to grass.
Yeah.
And just perfect form. At the end of it, he puts it back up, and I'm like, dude, I had to say something. This was incredible. You do that. That warrants some compliments.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
We're friends now.
Yeah.
Guys, just compliment a gym bro.
Yeah, compliment. Do your daily good deed, and tell someone his anterior delts are looking sick. So after your Golds, your LA, like the Lifetime and Equinox, which moved to that like sports club kind of level.
I would arguably even just separate them out a little bit. Granted, I'm a former Lifetime member, and I only stopped going there because I moved too far away.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of bias here.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Lifetime, I'm like, okay, it's not as expensive. You'll have some members there where in their mind they're going to Equinox, and it's like, bro, calm down.
Yeah.
On the other hand, yeah, you're paying a bit more, but dude, a eucalyptus leaf spa. I don't know what the eucalyptus does, but
I can't spell that word.
Just goddamn, give me my tea and I'll stick my pinky out.
Exactly. So this is a spot you'll have. Obviously, you have your weight floor, you have your free weights, your machines, blah blah blah. But then it moves into, like you said, spa, these are the places where you'll
spa,
have
a sauna. We had
Yeah.
2 hot tubs by the Olympic-sized swimming pools and a hot tub in each locker room
Yeah.
in case you didn't
Yeah.
want to go out there. Showers with good quality body wash, shampoo, conditioner, all of that. I'm shaving cream, razors, all of that.
a
when I was
smoothie girl to hit on. We're kidding.
leave the employees alone, kids. Yeah, it's like a massage studio in the thing, and so you're paying a bit more, you're getting a bit more.
Yeah.
Equinox levels that up a bit. I've got a particular feeling about Equinox, but we'll get there when we bring this analogy full circle.
Yeah. So I guess to quickly, the Gold's LA Fitness run you like $30 to $50 a month, depending on where you are, that kind of thing. Very manageable. And then Lifetime was what, $100?
I was paying, I want to say 120, 130.
Yeah.
But I also I was paying so I didn't just have a membership at that club. I could go to any Lifetime in the area.
Okay, that's pretty lit.
And so I think that's why I was paying extra 20 to 30 a month.
Yeah.
Overall, definitely a step up from a Gold's membership in terms of price, but you also do get access to some more facilities.
Yes.
That step up, again, biased. I think you can justify a little more.
Yeah. And then Equinox. Equinox is for networking with dumbbells. It's like
I like that a lot.
I know people who went there who, again, it was for networking. Like you go, you had that membership, so you could say you had that membership and be like, oh, I ran into. It's like a sports club. It's how. Again, I've never been, but I'd assume because I'm a poor riffraff. But I'd assume if you're like a hedge fund guy or like you work on Wall Street or something, like you got an hour lunch, so you go work out at Equinox, which means you go there, you get whatever espresso. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you soak and discuss how you're gonna rob people or whatever. Yeah, that's what Equinox is. Again, I'm sure that some people can get lifts in there. Yeah. It's for
Equinox. Always
people.
Reminds me of the professor. Shout out Dom Mazzetti. At Equinox, the lifts the weights lift themselves.
Yeah. Like it's not about working out because you're too rich to know what struggle is. Yeah, again, like if you can afford it, again, I'm sure they have kind of like the amenities of Lifetime. You probably have access to a nice level of spa treatment and other such frivolities. Most people are probably going to be in the kind of standard corporate gym.
Somewhere in between LA Golds.
Yeah.
Maybe
24-hour fitness. I know I had buddies who they worked dumb late shifts. Yeah. So that just worked out for them because they could go to the gym at 4 a.m. after they got off work.
After high school, I started off at a Fitness 19 where I think it was open 4 a.m. till midnight. 20 hours, but but also it was Fitness 19. Membership was $19 a month for that and good quality equipment and everything, especially considering the price. So yeah, we're not covering every single corporate gym. That would take an entire hour. Yeah. But it's just the big guys.
Yeah.
Now we've hinted at it. There's encompassing Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, Lifetime, and Equinox. There's a fun analogy we've come up with. Do you want to get started? Do you want me to get in?
I'll start. So I'll start with LA Fitness. So we're gonna make an alcohol analogy because formers degenerates. If you know anything about Scotch, right? You know that
you're gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, you know that there are obviously levels, and there's once you can get past just the pure names of stuff, you realize there's just because his name's here doesn't necessarily mean this is the better stuff. So LA Fitness is like a Dewar's. So Dewar's was the first Scotch that I ever bought legally. It's the first alcohol I ever purchased. I never had a fake, so I never bought anything underage. But I remember seeing all the commercials on TV, and the day I turned 21, Nasty took me to the DMV, got the license, went straight to Sue in College Park, and got a Dewar's 12. And felt very fancy. What I now know is that's pretty normal stuff. Yeah, pretty regular. You said was that a rail for you when you bartended at Capitol?
So that
Woodmont, excuse me.
Yes, Dewar's was our rail Scotch.
Yeah,
But the thing is, my rule whenever I go out to buy liquor is I'll look at what our rails there were, and I'm like, that is my minimum standard.
Yeah.
Which means Doers passes the acceptable quality.
Yep.
Just as LA Fitness meets the acceptable quality.
Yeah. It's, again, you're going to get done everything you need to get done. You're not going to break the bank. And you can pretend that...
It's nothing particularly special, but it gets the job done and meets a fair standard.
And if people don't know what it is, they're going to think you're fancy.
Yeah. Yes.
So then moving up to Lifetime, you look at Lifetime.
All right. So Lifetime is your Macallan 12. Macallan 12 was brought into my life by Bendorf on my 21st birthday. Absolutely love the stuff. And if you can't tell, I kind of love my experience at Lifetime. So now Macallan 12 is a step up in terms of price, just as Lifetime is a step up in terms of price. However, I think there's also a comparable increase in terms of quality.
Yeah.
So yes, you're paying more, but you're actually getting what you're paying for.
Yeah.
It is a bit better. It's still not the fanciest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You definitely now are going to start turning heads, especially from, like, if someone turned their heads at Doers, they're really going to turn their head at Macallan. But it's you're getting a good value for the price point. It's nothing out of this world incredible, but it's appropriate for what you're paying for it.
Yeah.
And so, Lifetime. It's Macallan 12. We've got two more for you guys.
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
We're going to go high. We're going to go Equinox. So Equinox is Johnny Walker Blue. Johnny Walker Blue is good. It's excellent as far as blended Scotch goes. It's up there for sure. That being said, very overpriced.
Yes.
Very overpriced. You will go to places and they'll charge you. I've seen as high as $50 for a pour of this, which for those of you who don't buy alcohol regularly, a fifth or 750 milliliters of good whiskey you can get for $40.
Yeah.
So when you're being charged $50 for a pour, which in theory is 2 ounces, realistically 1.5.
Yeah.
Little overpriced, just like Equinox. But again, it is good. Like, it's not bad. It's very very good blended Scotch. But it's not.
So building on that, the other part is, if you're drinking Johnny Walker Blue, you're drinking it for the name.
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%.
And if you're going to Equinox, you're doing it so you can say you go to Equinox.
Yeah.
Because the reality with both of them is, especially when I was checking out, don't ask me why, I was looking at gyms in New York City.
Yeah.
And well, first of all, y'all are gonna get to know me a little bit. Whenever I say New York, I'm not referring to the state. I'm not even referring to New York City. I'm referring specifically to the borough of Manhattan.
Well, Long Island City, Long Island, New York, Queens, New York City.
And so, don't ask me why I was looking at gyms there.
That's fine.
But I was comparing a lot of them. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, Equinox is fine. It's great. For that price point, you could have this, or you could have that.
Yeah.
And that's just better.
Yeah.
And that's, sorry, Mike. That's how I look at Johnny Walker Blue.
Yeah.
My first bottle of Johnny Blue was given to me on my 22nd birthday. No, actually also my 21st birthday. Since then, like, that bottle I didn't open until I passed my first class of grad school.
Yeah.
Because when I got it, I was like, this is going to be something special. When I finished undergrad, I'm like, I'm changing career fields. This doesn't count. and so it was okay. Passed my first class. I've taken a meaningful step. Now I can open this.
Yeah.
For the sake of tradition, I will always have a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue in my house. However, I rarely drink it because for that price point, you can just drink better Scotch.
Yeah.
And for that price point, you can get more than you get at Equinox.
Yeah.
Unless you're going there to network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think you hit it perfectly. You get Johnny Walker Blue for the name, you go to Equinox for the name. And then Planet Fitness is Jameson, because Jameson isn't Scotch.
Being done, no elaboration. That's all there is to it.
But you can get stuff done with Jameson.
And you can get stuff done at Planet Fitness.
Exactly. But you can do better. All right. So that's the corporate gyms. That's like the bulk of stuff. What we're going, kind of where we'll go now is just kind of some of the fun, like for the culture kind of places. So obviously you can't talk about bodybuilding without Venice, Gold's Gym, and Muscle Beach.
Yes.
So these are two separate places. Gold's Gym in Venice is the mecca of bodybuilding. This is where Arnold and Columbo and Haney and all these guys worked at, kind of in the heyday of that era of bodybuilding.
This is your heritage, right?
Yeah, this is one of those places where if you, like me, got into bodybuilding.com in college, this is a place that you were going to go at some point, just for the sake of going to it and saying you've been there. Obviously, it's still just a Gold's Gym, but you do have that history there.
Yes.
You will, again, if you're interested in that, you'll be able to see people there, celebrities train out there. A lot of the influencers, before they went to Bradley Martin's gym, were training at the Venice Gold's Gym. It's kind of like a rite of passage kind of thing, just to go there.
Point, you get a lift there.
Just get a lift in there. Again, it is still just a Gold's Gym, but you do have that long history of people training there. You have like Charles, who's like a famous trainer there, who people like come from all over the world just to work out with, and just kind of get to soak in all of that, kind of the iconic
culture.
nature. Yeah, the culture of that space. Same with Muscle Beach, and another spot that's kind of known for being Muscle Beach. My father at one point
used to.
Yeah, he used to work out there, and it's he said it's kind of weird. You have like tourists constantly just taking pictures of you because you're literally just on Venice Beach. Like there's the boardwalk, and then it's like a little fenced in little spot.
Yeah.
The equipment's old and ratted, but again, you have like super ripped dudes doing like cool muscle ups there. So again, another spot like kind of for the culture. Again, obviously Arnold and all those guys worked out on the beach there too. So yeah, if there was like a heritage of bodybuilding, these are two spots that you kind of have to bring up in the conversation.
Yeah. I'm not sure there's anything meaningful I can add to that. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing I could do before we keep going, that seems like as appropriate time as any. All right, guys. So exciting news. This episode, for the first time since...
The first episode?
Yes, since our inception. We're sponsored, kids.
Yeah.
And...
By us, but still.
Yeah. All right, so...
This is the first time I'm hearing this, too. I'm excited.
All right, so today's episode is brought to you by Gym Buddies. Do you have a crippling need for others to acknowledge your pump? Would you be helped by someone pointing out that 6 PRs in a row does not constitute a bad training week? Are you tired of recording your own sets? Does the thought of not risking death every bench PR appeal to you? Then Gym Buddies may be right for you. Side effects may include an inflated sense of ego, an actively harmful sense of competition, and losing your faith in humanity every time they sleep in on leg day. Gym Buddies, since the literal dawn of picking things up and putting them back down.
Nice.
Yay.
I like it. Gym Buddies are good. I'd like to thank all of my Gym Buddies. You, obviously, all the OG crew, Iron, Nasty, Starge, Brepo, Nick, and then the random people along the way. All the random spots. All the, hey bro, can you record this? Hey bro, can you watch me here? Love, peace, and harmony to all of y'all.
Yep. Along with the entire OG crew that Sam shouted out, and obviously Samuel himself.
Hey.
Special shout out to my gym buddy, my current workout partner, Mr. Brian Kim, who had to explain to me while I was ranting about how I was having a shitty training week after setting, Monday I set a PR on sumo deadlifts. Tuesday was hip thrust where I hit double what I was doing 2 months ago. 5 pounds short of double. I'll give it to myself.
Who's counting? You. You're
Me.
counting.
Wednesday was incline presses. Thursday was conventional deadlifts, and I'm still here talking about, dude, I'm just not hitting it today. And he's like, Monis, you've literally PR'd every day. Shut up. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe just because I didn't PR by as much as I wanted to,
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm a complete failure.
Exactly. Just like your hardcore card.
I'm just losing it all this week.
It's so good to have someone or people, multiple people, to push you when you go to the gym. Whether you're at a high school gym, a college gym, or a corporate gym, to tie into the episode.
Yeah.
It's super helpful to have someone there who's going to help you out. Obviously, like you said, spotting you for the life-threatening lifts, which if you live with us are all of them. And again, can give you just some perspective. Super nice.
Yeah.
You push each other.
A bit of objectivity from someone that you like, someone that, is looking out for you, but whose opinion you care about.
Yeah. So shout out all of our gym buddies, and again the impromptu gym buddies. I still have a video on my phone of a guy who asked me to record his set.
Yeah.
He didn't hit it, but he tried, and I was like, I guess I'll delete this. He didn't ask for it or anything. So also, he didn't give me his phone to record, which is very bizarre.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to you, Sam, because I'll note, and this is one of the things that I need to work on. My diet I've got down pat. I'm pretty good about adherence. If I go off plan, I don't get upset when then the results change accordingly. Like I'm like, okay, I understand what I did gives me this end result.
Yeah.
Fiend. Training, I tend to kind of just like question myself a lot. And I tend to have a strong intensity imposter syndrome, where I never really feel like I'm going hard enough. Despite the fact that, right now, we're recording on March 7th, and I've spent maybe a little over a week this entire year in a caloric surplus.
Yeah.
And we're still hitting PRs.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, do better. and so, Brian, thank you for this. Sam, you also do this a lot. Just thank you for, talking some sense into me sometimes.
Yeah. You all need one of those, just a nudge of reality every once in a while.
On that note, let's get back to the episode.
All right, so the last, we've done all the main stuff. What you're going to get into now is we called it influencer gyms. So these we have, I guess, influencer and hardcore gyms, which can kind of have some overlap.
There's some overlap.
So these are your zoo culture. Shout out Bradley Martin. You have fitness culture, Steve Cook. Alpha Land with Christian Guzman, the OG Metroflex, and then the LA Metroflex, Iron Adage Gym with CT Fletcher, Barbell Brigade with that whole crew.
Yeah.
So these are where you have people who have built up a career either as a fitness influencer or as a powerlifter, strongman, bodybuilder, whatever. Again, Hafthor Bjornsson has his gym in Iceland. These are the gyms of people where you're going because you like that person. Either you've been following their content for years or you've been purchasing their merch or whatever it is. These are these gyms. And
there is some sort of carryover between two where some of them are entirely just this person.
Yeah.
And others, here's what I'm thinking of, say, Barbell Brigade. It's just it's not quite Muscle Beach levels, but it's still just okay, the amount of things that have happened here, the amount of people that come here, I still want to go.
Oh, 100%. It's let's call it the new era of the For the Culture gym. Like I said, the amount of people who were training there before they got their own gym with their name on it is astonishing. That's the first place I saw Omar Youssef. That's the first play. I think I saw Steffi Cohen early. Her doing stuff there. And then you have other people like Rob Bailey and Dana Lynn Bailey. They're opening a new spot. You have people who have. I'm sure there's way more. Obviously, we're not going to be able to name all of them.
We could keep going and
Kabuki Strength, places like this.
Yeah. These gyms just It's hard to draw that line in between where it stops being more of an influence gym and where it starts becoming more of the next generation of your Venice and your Muscle Beach. Over time, I think we will start to see increasing amounts of separation. Barbell Brigade, I think, is going to end up becoming one of those, hey, like, this ends up at least partially defining a generation. That's just one particular gym that I have a very soft spot for, and I cannot wait to go work out there. First flight that
that we can write off.
Yeah. I was going to say legally allowed to do, but...
also that. Yeah. We're allowed to go places.
But, yeah, that's... It's kind of just like, new up-and-coming sort of thing. I am so excited to work out at Alpha Land.
Yeah.
I've been following Christian Guzman talking about all that and, like, his Instagram stories about this from the start.
Yeah.
And it looks incredible.
Yeah.
It looks so good. And it's in Texas. And, well, it's normally warm in Texas. So any excuse to get to warmer weather. And,
100%. Especially if you go in, like, the winter.
Yeah.
So these are spots where you'll be able to, again, like, if you're going to these places because you like the people who've opened these places up. You've been following them for years. You've seen them work out at Venice Golds or Muscle Beach or at each other's. And I think that's, again, one of the cool things about the fitness community becoming much more collaborative in all the aspects. You'll see them go to each other's gyms and work out there, rep their merch, and just have great kind of collaborative fitness sessions.
Yeah.
That's like the main, like, those gyms. We got to mention CrossFit boxes. Again, as much fun as I like to make for the CrossFit people. Y'all are killing it in your own right. So you have, I mean, these are very rarely chains. These are normally pretty individualized spots. I think, like, the exceptions can be, like, Soldier Fit has, I know, a bunch of locations. I've seen that at a lot of spots. But for the most part, these are kind of independently owned and operated spots where people who are either, again, like, if you have your levels, obviously you have the places where, like, Brooke Wells and the people who are training for the games go. Then you have just, again, kind of your Gen Pop stuff where people are just really like CrossFit and have the community can go. I mean, too many to name. Like, there's
I wouldn't even know where to
start. There's a ton of them.
I mean, in our area alone.
Yeah.
There's more CrossFit gyms than there are normal gyms.
Yeah. And
which kind of just speaks to, like, how it's spread and the amount of people
that community,
that speaks to.
No Bull is now sponsoring the CrossFit Games, or the official sponsor. Yeah, that just got announced. Whoops, another sponsor for the upcoming games.
Jesus.
So they're growing a lot, and it's really cool to see. Again, like I said, if you want to be motivated, watch those documentaries they put out after every year. We'll get you ready to
your
run.
mobility, please.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's one thing they do better than I think any other group, at least publicly, is mobility and
Olympic weightlifters.
Yeah, well, publicly, I don't know any weightlifters.
See, you took it in the best. You took my comment in the best possible fashion, and that's what I appreciate about you, Katie. But yeah, I was just more saying, well, like, if you're gonna do these things that aren't meant to be done this much this much, just make sure your joints are gonna keep working.
Make sure you're all squared away.
Yeah.
So that's. I can't think of
honestly,
any
I think
more.
that's all the big things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you'll have, like, well, let's just talk about home gyms, because that is something that is growing in popularity, especially with the advent of early COVID, when everything was shut down and people were building gyms themselves. I know that Rogue has it's called, like, the Zeus Gym Builder. So if you're into interior design, but you're a meathead also, and you want to design a space for lifting, go to their Gym Builder. Honestly, all you really need, get a pull-up bar that drills into your studs and a half rack with the barbell. That's really where that's where you'll start. And then obviously, as you have space and money,
also, like, not even necessarily that far. Like, my parents have started building their own in their basement.
Yeah.
And in their case, okay, like, what do we do in terms of weightlifting? I was like, honestly, just start off with an adjustable bench and adjustable dumbbells.
Yeah, true. True.
And if you want to end up getting to a point of, okay, yeah, let's squat heavy, let's deadlift heavy, absolutely, I'm all here for it. But we're going to start off a little bit simpler. Even if you do take that next step up, this is cheap. It's a low barrier to entry.
Yeah.
It'll hit all your fundamentals. And then when you do get there, you already know how to deadlift. You already know how to squat. You're getting your fundamentals down early. And then we can go from there.
Yeah.
And if you don't take that step up, that's fine. You don't have to pull plates to be healthy.
Yeah.
And I think one of the coolest things that has come out of the last year is home gyms. Like the amount of detail and thought that some people have put into what they're doing, absolutely surreal. Like while I don't think I'll ever stop having a normal gym membership, this definitely does make me want to, as grad school finishes up and we move on out, just get a basic setup of my own. Get really just a squat rack and a bench. But
when everything shut down, I went, oh, it would be really nice to have access to again. Like I had my uncle got me years ago a set of 65-pound kettlebells, which kind of came in clutch because it was better than zero. And you could still do stuff with it. But yeah, I would love to get to a point where I could have a spot at my house, either in the garage or if we're really balling, like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like what The Rock has, like his Iron Paradise. That's a home gym goal.
Dream.
Yeah, that's like that's the goal for sure. But yeah, so that's like the only other real.
I will while we're on this topic. I've talked about how I got lucky, and I happened to order a pair of adjustable dumbbells right before COVID started. In addition to that, and while I was waiting for those to come in, the first piece of home gym equipment that I have upstairs in my room right now was given to me by Iron. So, Iron, when you listen to this, thank you. 30-pound kettlebell.
Yeah.
And the amount of things that you can do with a single kettlebell, which just speaks to, you can go really hardcore and really fancy, but your fundamentals have a very low barrier of entry.
Yeah.
And you can get every single thing you need to get started going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get that for like $30,
if that.
If even, yeah. Go to any Dick's Sporting Goods or your local meathead. Real.
Look for what I'd really recommend. Look for, in my case, where I go, it's like a lacrosse and hockey shop. Just look for like smaller run sports goods stores, like independently owned. And I found that normally most of them will specialize in like a sport or two, like not necessarily in weightlifting. But if you go in, they'll probably just have some weights tucked in the corner somewhere, and they'll be cheaper than going to a Dick's or going to like a large chain store.
Yeah.
Now you don't really know what you're gonna find, but when you find something, find something.
Nice.
All right. Well, on that note, I think I'll give it something I want to say. Sam, do you have anything else you want to add?
I like it. I think we gave y'all some knowledge. Which is always our goal, I think.
Every now and then. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. You've been listening to Unsolicited Lifting Advice. As always, again, just thank you for your support. We really do appreciate it. If you do enjoy the show, the best thing you can possibly do is either like the video on YouTube or rate and review us on your app store. That just helps us be seen by more people. We've started seeing an increasing amount of organic growth, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Anything you do there would be greatly appreciated and would do more to help us than anything we could possibly do. That being said, please keep reaching out. Please keep giving us any feedback. We absolutely love hearing from y'all. Team ULA, just thank you. I think we're all good there.
Yeah.
If you want to reach out to us on anything, it is at ULA Podcast on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We still mostly use and will respond fastest to you on the Instagram. Thank you guys. We'll be back next Wednesday. This episode comes out, as always, at midnight on Wednesday. The YouTube video will probably be up a little bit before noon on Wednesday. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Wednesday.